Good morning. The August 23rd, 2022 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. As the board continues to meet in this hybrid fashion, we ask everyone in the room to ensure that you silence any electronic devices, as well as ensure that if you are not at the mic speaking, that you have a face mask on. At this time, I would like to ask our clerk, Deputy Comptroller Erica McCleamy, for any corrections, additions, or noted abstentions to today's agenda.
Good morning. This morning's announcements. In the absence of the city solicitor, Stephen Salisbury, the chief of staff of the Department of Law, will sit and vote on his behalf. The following are changes and corrections to the agenda. There's a walk-on from the Department of Law, payment of jury trial verdict. I'll be reading the memo to the Board of Estimates. The board is requested to approve payment of a jury trial verdict for an action to acquire by condemnation the fee simple interest in 811 West Saratoga Street for the Poe Homes expansion project by the Housing Authority of Baltimore City, HABC. The owner of the fee simple interest is First Mount Olive Free Will Baptist Church, Incorporated. The amount of money in source, $181,400. These additional funds and the amount of $181,400 have been provided by HABC for the purpose of the acquisition of this property. For background explanation, on December 15, 2020, the city filed a condemnation action to acquire the fee simple interest in the real property located at 811 West Saratoga Street. The board previously approved $130,000 to acquire the fee simple interest in the subject property based on the highest of two independent appraisal reports. The owner disputed the fair market value and produced an appraisal valuing the property at $533,000 from July 22, 2021. The parties were unable to reach an agreement after participating in a mediation and a pretrial conference, so the case proceeded to a jury trial. Before trial, the city had the property reappraised, increasing the value to $300,000. At trial, the owner argued that the value of the property was $1,534,100 based on the state's tax assessment of the property. The jury awarded a total of $300,000 for the fair market value of the property, and by law, the city is required to pay interest in the verdict in the amount of $11,400. Thus, the Board of Estimates is requested to approve an additional $181,400, which is $300,000 plus $11,400 minus the prior approval amount of $130,000 previously provided by HABC, for a total of $311,400. There is no applicable MBE or WBE participation. The affected council district is District 9, and funds have been approved by Finance. There are no protests for today's meetings. Item number 3, deferrals and withdrawals. On page 148, item number 2, Bureau Procurement, B50006293, banking services, dated from August 24, 2022 to 9/7/2022 is being deferred from today's date to September 7, 2022. The requester has been the controller. The following items have been moved to the non-routine agenda. Page 12, Department of Law, Settlement Agreement and Release. Page 85, Department of Recreation and Parks, a donation agreement. And page 149, number 3, Bureau Procurement, B50006582, Cell Site Simulator, and the walk-on by Department of Law, the payment of jury trial verdict that was read previously. Number 5, the following have been moved to routine, no items. And the following have members or designees have extensions. The Honorable Mayor Brandon Scott, page number 157, the Health Department, correction, agreement with Johns Hopkins University. The Honorable President Nick Mosby, page 155, Office of the State's Attorney for Baltimore City, grant adjustment notice, and page 156, Office of the State's Attorney's travel requests. The Honorable Controller Bill Henry, page number 55, the Mayor's Office travel requests, and The Law Department Chief of Staff, Stephen Salisbury, and the Director of Public Works, Jason Mitchell, have no abstentions. And that concludes the announcements, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Comptroller. At this time, I will ask for a motion to approve and adopt the opening statement.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The opening statement is adopted. I'd now like to direct the board's attention to a memorandum from my office dated August the 22nd, 2022, identifying matters to be considered as routine agenda items, together with any corrections, additions, abstentions, and no votes that I have been noted by our amazing Deputy Comptroller. I will entertain a motion to approve all items contained on the routine agenda today.
So moved.
Aye.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in, I'm sorry, I didn't hear a second.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. The routine agenda has been adopted. The first item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 12. Law Department Settlement Agreement and Release. This lawsuit was filed against BPD, Baltimore Police Department Officer Clement John, and is based on a fact pattern where he struck a plaintiff, Dante Royal, while he was exiting his parked vehicle. On behalf of the Law Department, we have Stephen Potter to walk us through settlement. Mr. Potter, the floor is yours. Mr. Potter is, again, we're in hybrid mode, so he is online.
Good morning. Yes, Mr. Officer John was driving a city-owned motor vehicle, police cruiser, close to midnight on July 4th, 2016, and in the 3200 block of Carlisle Avenue. A car door opened suddenly, and he struck the car door, and the door bounced off his vehicle and struck a pedestrian who was concealed behind the door. Who was the plaintiff, Mr. Royal, who sustained serious injuries to his right knee and right shoulder. The matter proceeded to a jury trial, which ended with a hung jury. In light of the retrial, it's determined that it was in the city's best interest to settle the matter on the terms described in the memo.
Mr. Potter, is that it?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Just for the record and for clarity's sake, the trial that you were talking about was a civil trial in nature, right?
Yes, a civil jury trial, Your Honor.
No, just wanted to make sure. At this time, are there any additional questions or concerns from members of the board? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and probably second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. The next item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 85, Department of Recreation and Parks. This is a request to approve the execution of a donation agreement and performance and payment bonds between the Department of Rec and Parks, Southwest Partnership, Jones Enterprises II. This is related to comfort stations that have been installed at Franklin Square Park. Here to speak in support of the donation agreement on behalf of himself and surrounding community, we have the Honorable John Bullock. Is he in?
He's on.
He's online?
Yeah.
Councilman Bullock. We have the Honorable Councilman John T. Bullock, Dr. Councilman John T. Bullock.
I'm sorry, the Honorable Councilman Dr. John T. Bullock or the Honorable Dr. Councilman?
A lot of titles there.
Oh, Dad in there. Oh.
Yeah. He doesn't have the deputy councilman on today, but Mr. Councilman, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, members of the board. I really appreciate the time today. I won't be before you very long. You have the letter that our office submitted on behalf of the Franklin Square Community Southwest Partnership in terms of this comfort station. As you can see, it's a relatively small amount in terms of the city's finances, and obviously this is a donation. But it's going to make a huge difference in Southwest Baltimore, particularly in Franklin Square. And so there's been a lot of work and effort put toward this project, and the ability to get these funds transferred would allow for a park to have a new life breathed into it. And so really appreciate the time you provide this morning. Appreciate your consideration. Hope for a favorable outcome. So again, thank you so much for your time and consideration today.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman. The only thing that the board will request from you is that you always bring your deputy councilman with you. That happens to be his mini-me, his young son. He sometimes appears with him a lot on meetings. At this time, are there any questions or concerns from members of this board? Hearing and seeing none, I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. And the ayes have it. This item is approved. The next item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 149. Number 3, Bureau Procurement for contract number B50006582, Cell Site Simulator. On behalf of the user agency, which is Baltimore Police Department, we have Andy Smullian, Colonel Richard Worley, and Lieutenant Habib Kim. They walk us through the procurement of this item and some of the safeguards that have been put in place for governmental use of this technology. At this time, from a BPD perspective, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Board of Estimates. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Colonel Rich Worley. I oversee the Criminal Investigation Division. This piece of technology is essential for moving the BPD forward. I was going to try to explain it. I know a good bit about it, but I have an expert here with me, so I'm just going to turn it over to Lieutenant Habib Kim. He oversees our Special Activities Section, which runs the advanced technical team and all the technical aspects. And he can explain exactly what this item does, the restrictions we put on it to safeguard any misuse of it, and why we desperately need the upgraded equipment. So,
Hello, everyone, and thank you for your time. My name is Habib Kim. I'm the lieutenant in charge of the Special Activities Unit. Just to begin with on some kind of foundational information, that what we're asking for is approval for the Cell Site Simulator, which is commonly referred to as the Stingray in the news media. A couple of misconceptions about it to start off with. It is not an eavesdropping device. It does not allow us to listen in on phone calls, see text messages, or sniff data packets. It is an existing technology that we have currently in the agency, but it is in desperate need of upgrade to be able to work with today's new frequencies, such as everyone's new 5G phones and things like that. On the topic of safeguards, I just want to make it clear that all of our actions are supported by legal justification, either as signed search and seizure warrant approved and reviewed by a judge, or bona fide exigent circumstances where we have a life and death situation. And each action is covered by several layers of oversight and review to ensure that we are doing things properly.
Thank you. Mr. Habib, is that the conclusion of your presentation?
I would like, if I have time, to go into what it's actually used for, but I didn't want to intrude on your time.
No, we are here to listen to everything that you want to present in front of us.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Just so everyone knows, typically our technology is used in advancing investigations. So Warrant Apprehension Task Force, Homicide, our anti-crime section will go and obtain a search warrant for the cell phone information and to give us the authority to use the equipment. Our equipment actually cannot be turned on, with the exception of training and testing, unless we have a signed search and seizure warrant or an exigent. The primary detective will go and get that warrant, which is reviewed by Judge Barry Williams, typically, who's a subject matter expert for the justice side of things. Once that is done, it comes to us. We review it for completeness and legitimacy, and if it's approved, we move forward with it. We go out, we find a target, and then the primary detective will follow up and go ahead and further the investigation with the information we provide. Exigents have been a bit of a hot topic in the past. I just want to let everyone know that the vast majority of our exigent requests and our exigent deployments are for people who are missing, typically children. We also go to try and find suicidal persons, and we also, in very rare cases, use it to stop an ongoing life-threatening threat. Mainly, typically it's domestic in nature, but it's a situation where we need to find the suspect before they can carry out their threats of violence.
Thank you. Does that conclude your presentation?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No, thank you so much. I have one question, and I think we have questions or comments from the mayor as well as comptroller. When we talk about the safeguards and oversight, how does that look from a chain of custody perspective? I think some of the concerns in the past wasn't necessarily some of the legitimate uses of the device that went through the procedural process of being signed off. I think some of the concerns in the past, not just in Baltimore, but in other cities, was specifically related to misuse of the device for non-approved activities.
Yes, sir. So I have a small team of detectives that are held to a high standard of trustworthiness. The physical equipment itself is housed in a truck. Now, to be able to use that equipment, you have to get through two separate biometric doors to get to the equipment itself. Then, the vehicle that's used to host the equipment, you have to get that out of a secure garage. On top of that, the equipment cannot easily be used by one person. So by forcing the situation to require 2 detectives at a time, that is a built-in safeguard. On top of that, the office is typically manned most of the time, so it would be difficult for someone to use it without authorization.
Gotcha. You cut off a little bit at the end. You said it would be difficult for someone to use this without authorization, correct?
Yes, sir. And we are even with our current safeguards, we are in the process of upgrading our security even further to build in alerts to let us know if someone accesses the office at times we wouldn't expect someone to be there.
Yeah. So ultimately, when as the leader of the organization, when someone goes to quote unquote check it out, meaning physically remove it, you would know who's doing it and why they're doing it. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. And the 2-person system would be another safeguard to that as well.
And
not only am I a safeguard, but I have sergeants and the other members of the unit.
Got you. And that biometric system, I guess, reports back to a database that ultimately restores the flow of the machine and individuals that are checking it in and checking it out.
The biometrics allows us to ensure that only people with authorization to use the equipment can access the building where the keys to the equipment are held.
Got you. I think I'm saying the question a little differently. The way, not that they have the credentials or access to check it in or check it out, but do we have the ability to track who's checking it in and checking it out? So, for instance, could we go back to, say, 6 months or 12 months ago and identify that person X checked it in and checked it out on this date and at this time?
So it doesn't necessarily get checked in and checked out. People are assigned the task of using the equipment at any given time, and those are logged in through our internal databases of who is driving the truck, who's using the equipment, who's support, and so on. So we do track that through a separate system, and then it's supervisor oversight that reinforces that.
Understood. And how is that data inputted? Is that manually inputted, or is that linked to the biometric system?
The access to the office is through the biometric system. Who actually does what each function is manually entered. And as I said, we're trying to upgrade the biometric system to a new system that would further provide oversight and auditability.
Gotcha. Who's the person responsible for keeping task on that database that's doing the manual entry of the data?
That's the detective that drives the truck, takes care of putting in that data, and it's reviewed by a sergeant and then by me ultimately. On top of that, sir, we are a team of myself, 2 sergeants, and 9 detectives, which means it's a very tightly bound unit. So basically, everyone kind of knows everything that's going on with each other. It's a benefit of having a small unit.
Understood. And definitely appreciate it. Understand and know the importance of this technology. Obviously, there's been concerns, again, not just in Baltimore, but in other cities about the misuse of devices like this and other capabilities with devices such as this, specific to chain and custody. I think the fact that it is a small and closed-off unit doesn't necessarily provide any level of comfort in trying to counteract any misuse of the device in the future. I think that only kind of bodes toward the ability to kind of misuse it inside of that unit. Not saying that that's anything that you would be willing to do or participate, or any of your officers. Just want to lay it out from a transparency perspective and accountability perspective. Really interested in the future development of the biometric technology. So we have some automation of tracking the use of the device as opposed to manual entry from someone inside of the division. Is that the direction that the department is moving in?
Yes, sir. The procurement for the upgraded systems and security is already in the pipeline. But before we even get to that point, it's important to note that the culture of my unit is one of utmost trustworthiness. Any detective that is identified by myself or the sergeants as having trouble with being trusted is immediately removed from the unit. We have unfortunately had that happen in the past. And I've found that my command is very supporting and understanding that we are given very powerful equipment and must be trusted with that, and that we cannot allow that trust to be broken. So if any member of my unit ever shows any sign that they cannot be trusted, they are immediately removed with support of command.
Yes, Mr. Lieutenant Kim, we appreciate that, and this body definitely supports you with that leadership in that. Just the last question regarding, I think, where we need to be. Is there a time frame on which that manual entry is no longer, and maybe the automated system through the biometrics is adopted?
Yes, sir. Last check I checked yesterday with our fiscal. That is ready to go to city procurement. So maybe next month or so.
All right. Well, I eagerly look forward to that appearing on our Board of Estimates agenda. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Kim. At this time, we do have a question or comment from our mayor. Mr. Mayor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, LT. Just a quick question for you. From an operational and investigation standpoint, are we being hindered by having the older version of the equipment, and if so, how so?
Yes, sir. Thank you. We are being hindered by this old equipment in several different ways. The most obvious is that the fact that our equipment doesn't work in the frequencies of modern phones and cell towers work in. So, for instance, if you have a modern phone, you're working in a modern cell phone area, we cannot find your phone in that area. We would have to wait for you to move out of that area into a 4G network. The problem with that is sometimes we need to find you in that area. One sad case that came up recently was for a suicidal person. That person was in a 5G area where we could not find them and make contact with them. It wasn't until they moved into a 4G area that we were able to find them, but by then it had been too late and they had carried out this ultimate act. Another instance is just the age of the equipment, and we suffer frequent breakdowns. Another case where that failure led to problems is when we were assisting our warrant apprehension task force to find a suspect in a string of robberies and carjackings. The equipment wouldn't stay operational long enough for us to do our job, and we had to break off. Unfortunately, a few days later, that same suspect was implicated in a shooting. So the equipment has hindered our ability to help other units and has led to avoidable injury.
And thank you for that, LT. My second question to you is, how often are we using the equipment to help our homicide detectives make stronger cases?
We use our equipment not only historic but live on a regular basis. The main way that we do that is typically within the first day or so of a homicide where the victim's property is taken in that homicide, we will try and locate that equipment to find out who took it and let detectives find out if that person is a suspect in the actual homicide. In essence, my unit works at a request base, so as long as we get a request, we act to help as much as we can.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Comptroller?
Oh, I just had the same questions that you already asked about the biometric tracking.
Oh, cool.
So we're good. Yeah.
Beautiful minds think alike. All right, at this time, are there any other questions or concerns from members of the board?
No, sir.
Hearing and seeing none, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Kim, as well as Colonel Worley. Sorry about that.
All right, thank you.
No, thank you. Next, we have a walk-on item. This is actually the final item on today's agenda. It's a walk-on item which will be read by our clerk at the top of the meeting. This request was approved for $181,400 to pay a jury award related to a condemnation action to acquire a parcel at HABC's expansion of Poe Homes. At this time, I would like to give the floor to the Law Department for a presentation.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Mr. Mayor, and good morning, honorable members of the board. Teresa DeSimone, Assistant Solicitor for the Law Department, requesting approval of the additional $181,400 for the jury verdict and post-judgment interest in the condemnation action to acquire the fee simple interest in 811 West Saratoga Street for the Poe Homes expansion project by HABC in the Poppleton community. The Board of Estimates previously approved the $130,000 based on the highest of 2 independent appraisals, and this condemnation case went to a jury trial. The jury awarded a total of $300,000 for the fair market value of the property, and by law, the city is required to pay the post-judgment interest on the verdict in the amount of $11,400. The city is required to pay the post-judgment interest for the jury verdict to the date the check is deposited with the court, and after an estimate of the days for post-judgment interest was calculated, we encountered delays obtaining the additional funds from HABC and depositing them into the city account for this project. The additional funds from HABC have been deposited into the city's account for this project with post-judgment interest payable to September 16th. The next BOE meeting scheduled for September 7th would not enable sufficient time for the law department to obtain a check for deposit with the court by the September 16th deadline. And thus the item is being submitted as a walk-on agenda item to prevent having to add additional days of interest, resulting in the need for additional funds. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assistant Solicitor. At this time, are there any questions or concerns from members of the board to the Law Department? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and probably seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. This item is approved. Thank you so much. As there's no new business before the desk, we will adjourn until bid opening at noon. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Estimates will occur on Wednesday, September 7th at 9 a.m. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Baltimore, we absolutely love you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erica McClammy, Deputy Controller. Welcome to Baltimore City's bid opening for Wednesday, August 24th, 2022. I'm joined this afternoon by several colleagues here in the Board of Estimates hearing room, Jim Knighton, Sherelle Harley, Shaylon Scott, and R.G. Quarles. Okay. I'm going to begin with reading addenda that have been received this afternoon. The first one's from Procurement, contract number B50006614, the citywide police requested towing service with 3 addendum attached. The previous due date was August 24th, today 2022. There is now a new opening date of September 21st, 2022. The next addendum we received is for also procurement, contract B50006559, supply and delivery of uniforms with 3 addendum. The previous due date was today, August 24, 2022. That has now been moved to a new opening date of September 21st, 2022. I'll be now moving to bids we're opening for today. The first one is for the Department of Finance. The contract number is B50006820. It is supply and delivery of ball diamond mix.
And there were no bids received for this solicitation.
Okay. The next one is also Department of Finance. Contract number B50006221, building glass insulation and repair services.
Okay.
We did receive bids for that. I'm going to read the contract number again, just for the record. B50006221, building glass insulation and repair services.
First bid submission is from Kaplan Brothers, C-A-P-L-A-N Brothers Incorporated, 700 West Hamburg Street, Baltimore, 21230. Total bid price, $393,600.
Okay.
Normally we confirm by reading.
Sure. I've recorded that as $393,600 from Kaplan Brothers Incorporated.
Yes, and we have an original plus 1 copy.
An original plus 1. Okay.
Second bid submission is from SCK Contractors, 8538 Terminal Road, Suite Q, Lorton, Virginia, 22079. Total bid price, $298,930.
Okay, I record that as $298,930 from SCK Contractors.
Correct.
Right,
Th-
nope.
Those are the only two submissions for that solicitation.
Okay, the next one is also again from Department of Finance, contract number B50006561. Again, that's B50006561. That's supply and delivery composite and/or plastic lids.
We have one bid submission for this solicitation from Ferguson Waterworks, 295 Interstate Circle, Frederick, Maryland, 21704. Total bid price, $10,611,286.20.
Okay, I've recorded that as $10,611,286.20.
Correct. And we have an original and one copy. That's the only bid for that solicitation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next one is Department of Finance, contract number B50006818. It's for salt for snow removal.
Okay, the first submission is from American Rock Salt Company, LLC, P.O. Box 190, Mount Morris, New York, 14510. They have enclosed a letter with their bid stating that they are unable to offer a price quotation.
Okay, so American Rock Salt Company, LLC, letter that they're not providing a price.
Yes.
Okay,
Unable to offer a price quotation. They're requesting that they remain on the bidders list for future invitations, so they didn't submit a price.
okay, so noted. Okay,
Next bid is from Eastern Salt Company Incorporated, 134 Middle Street, Suite 210, Lowell, Massachusetts, 01852. Total bid price, $8,900,000.
okay. I record that as Eastern Salt Company submitted their bid with a bid price of $8,900,000 and no cents.
Yes. We have an original plus 2 copies.
2 copies. Okay.
Next submission is from Prospectus Enterprises Incorporated, 10440 Little Patuxent Parkway, Suite 300, Columbia, Maryland, 21044. Total bid price is $11,900,000.
Okay, I've recorded the third one received it's coming from Prospectus Enterprises Incorporated with a bid price of $11,900,000 and 0 cents.
Yes. And we have an original plus 2 copies.
That's original plus 2.
The next submission is from AB Trucking and Contracting, LLC, 4708 Silver Spring Road, Baltimore, Maryland, 21128. There is no bid price.
Okay, I record that is no bid price coming from AB Trucking and Contracting LLC.
And there is an original and 1 copy.
Original one.
Okay, the next submission is from Morton Salt, 444 West Lake Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60606. They are submitting a letter stating they are submitting no bid on this contract.
Okay, again, for Morton Salt Company, they've also submitted a letter that they're not providing a bid, submitting a bid. Okay.
Yep. And last is from Compass Minerals, 9900 West 109th Street, Suite 100, Overland Park, Kansas, 66210. They are also submitting a bid, or a letter rather, that they're unable to submit a bid at this time. Letter submitting, that they're unable to submit a bid.
Okay. Okay, just for summary, this is for contract number B50006818, salt for snow removal. There were 6 responses received. Of those 6, 4 companies did not submit a bid, did not submit bid prices, and 2 did.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, which one is this one?
The next one is 6525.
Okay, I didn't know if that was a separate one. Okay. Okay, the next one's from Department of Procurement. Contract number is B50006525. That's for network hardware, and it has 2 addendums. Again, that's contract number B50006525 from Department of Procurement, network hardware, 2 addendums.
Yes, and we'll be, when we read the submissions for these have been submitted as item bids, so I'll just be reading the names of the submitters. First is Worldwide Technology, LLC, 1 Worldwide Way, St. Louis, Missouri, 63146, and they are submitting an original and 3 copies.
Okay, Worldwide Technology, LLC, okay.
Next submission is DSI Tech from 44670 Cape Court, Suite 100, Ashburn, Virginia, 20147. They're submitting an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, an original plus 1 copy from DSI Tech.
Next submission is from USC Canterbury Corporation, 1638 Trawler Lane, Annapolis, Maryland, 21409. You're submitting an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, recorded as original plus 1 copy submitted by USC Canterbury.
Next is SCD Information Technology, LLC, 7161 Columbia Gateway Drive, Suite C, Columbia, Maryland, 21046. Original plus 2 copies.
Okay, I record that as an original plus 2 copies coming from SCS, as in Sam, C as in cat, D as in dog, Information Technology, LLC.
Yes. Next submission is Biff Group Technologies, 113 West Monument Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21201. We have an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, we received original plus 1 copy from Biff Group Technologies.
Yes. Next submission is from Applied Technology Services Incorporated, 11615 Crossroads Circle Drive, Suite J, Middle River, Maryland, 21220. We have an original plus 3 copies.
Okay, thank you. Original plus 3 copies received from Applied Technology Services, Inc.
Yes. Next submission is from HCGI Incorporated, 10440 Little Patuxent Parkway, Suite 300, Columbia, Maryland, 21044. We have an original plus 2 copies.
Okay, an original plus 2 copies of the bid have been received from H as in Harry, C as in cat, G as in government, I as in indigo, HCGI Incorporated.
Yes. Next submission is from Lanier Electronics Group Incorporated, 16000 Trade Zone Avenue, Suite 401, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, 20774. We have an original plus 1 copy.
Thank you. An original plus 1 copy has been received from Lanier Electronics Group Incorporated.
Next submission is from CAS Severn, 6201 Chevy Chase Drive, Laurel, Maryland, 20707. We have an original plus 4 copies.
Okay, an original plus 4 copies has been received from CAS, that's C as in cat, A as in apple, S as in Sam, Severn, CAS Severn.
Yes. Next submission is from Insight Public Sector Incorporated, 13755 Sunrise Valley Drive, Suite 750, Herndon, Virginia, 20171. We have an original plus 1 copy.
An original plus 1 copy has been received from Insight Public Sector, Inc.
The next submission is Browns Enterprises Incorporated, DBA Browns Communications Incorporated, 10955 Golden West Drive, Suite D, Hunt Valley, Maryland, 21031. We have an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, an original plus 1 copy has been received from Browns Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Browns Communication.
Yes. Next submission is from CDW Government, LLC, 230 North Milwaukee Avenue, Vernon Hills, Illinois, 60061. We have an original plus 3 copies.
You said 3 copies, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Our original plus 3 copies has been received from CDW, that's C as in cat, D as in dog, W as in water.
Yes.
Government, LLC.
Yes. Next submission is from Dell Marketing, LP, 1 Dell Way, MS RR806, Round Rock, Texas, 78682. We have an original plus 3 copies.
Okay, that's Dell Marketing, LP, has submitted an original plus 3 copies.
Yes. Next submission is from Digicon Corporation, 6319 Executive Boulevard, Rockville, Maryland, 20852. We have an original plus 1 copy.
All right, an original plus 1 copy has been received from Digicon Corporation.
Yes. Next submission is from Daily Computer, D-A-L-Y Computer Incorporated, 5300 Spectrum Drive, Frederick, Maryland, 21703. We have an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, that's the last one. Dell
Yes.
Computer, Inc. has submitted an original plus 1 copy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. There's 15 of those recorded. Again, that those 15 line item bids were received for contract number B50006525 for the Department of Procurement, Network Hardware 2 addendums. Again, those were 15 item bids.
You got it. Oh, you have it. Okay.
Okay, the next one is from the Department of Procurement, contract number B50006269. It is for municipal advertising services, price proposal submittal.
Yes, we're opening the price proposal for which a technical proposal was previously opened for this
Okay.
bid. The bidder is Orange Barrel Media, LLC, 250 North Hartford Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43222. The total cost is $36,686,365.99.
Okay, just,
Yes, this is the only submission, yeah.
just one original copy, okay.
Yep.
All right, we received one original price proposal submittal from Orange Barrel Media LLC. The bid amount is $36,686,365.99.
Yes.
Again, that was for contract number B50006269, municipal advertising services price proposal submittal for Department of Procurement.
Okay. On the number of copies, we need to make a slight correction. So there's an original plus 7 copies
For
for the price proposal.
Orange Barrel Media, okay.
Yes.
Original plus 7, thank you. Okay, the next one should be for the Department of Procurement. Contract WC1315 for Hill and Penlucy North Neighborhood Water Main Replacement.
One correction, this is the Department of Public Works.
Okay, thank you. The summary actually has that correct. The tab has procurement. So I've corrected that, Department of Public Works.
First bid submission is from Metra Industries Incorporated, 50 Muller Place, Little Falls, New Jersey, 07424. Total bid price, $18,470,355. $18,470,355. The bid bond is included, and we have an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, from Metra Industries, we received a bid of $18,470,355.00. They have included a bid bond and an original plus 1 copy.
Yes.
Okay.
Next submission is from Garney Companies Incorporated, Garney, 3959 Pender Drive, Suite 100, Fairfax, Virginia, 22030. Total bid price, $27,633,070. 27,633,070. Bid bond is included. We have an original plus 1 copy.
Okay, an original plus 1 copy has been received from Garney Companies, Inc., with a bid amount of $27,633. I'm sorry, let me go back over. $27,633,070.00.
Yes.
With the bid bond included.
Yes. The next submission is from Spinello Companies, 3500 East Biddle Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21213. Total bid price, $18,723,300. $300. Bid bond is included, and we have an original plus one copy.
Okay, an original plus one copy and a bid bond has been received from Spinello with the bid amount of $18,723,300.00.
Yes. Next submission is from Monumental Paving and Excavating Incorporated, 1815 Edison Highway, Baltimore, Maryland, 21213. Total bid price, $18,625,000. Bid bond is included. We have an original plus one copy.
Okay, from Monumental Paving and Excavating, Inc., we received a bid with the bid amount of $18,625,000.00. Also a bid bond original plus one.
Yes. Next submission is from Anchor Construction Corporation, 2254 25th Place Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20018. Gotta find their bid price here, one second. Total bid price, $21,076,510. Bid bond is included. We have an original plus one copy.
Can you repeat that amount again?
$21,076,510. 21,076, 510.
Okay, from Anchor Construction Corp., we received a bid bond, original plus one copy, and a bid with the bid amount of $21,076,510.00.
Yes. This is a duplicate of Anchor Construction, so looks like we got an original plus two copies.
So there's an original plus two for Anchor?
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Next submission is from Civil Construction, LLC, 2413 Schuster Drive, Hyattsville, Maryland, 20781. Total bid price is $22,260,190. Bid bond is included. We have an original plus one copy.
Can you repeat the amount again? I'm sorry. 22 million?
$22,260,190.
Okay. From an original plus one copy and a bid bond has been received from Civil Construction LLC. They've also presented a bid amount of $22,260,190.00.
Yes.
Okay. That's 6 bids received for contract number WC 1315, Department of Public Works, Hill and Penn-Lucy North Neighborhood Water Main Replacement.
Yes.
Okay, this is the final bid opening. Department of Rec and Parks, contract number RP 20814R. Again, contract number RP, as in Recreation and Parks, 20814R. The contract name is the Mary E. Rodman Recreation Center renovation.
We have one bid submission for this solicitation from E. Pecunis Construction Company Incorporated, 1600 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21231. Total bid price, $1,184,000. Bid bond is included, and we have an original plus one copy.
Okay, one bid has been received from E. Pecunis Construction Company, Inc. They submit a bid bond, an original plus one copy, and a bid amount of $1,184,000 even.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our bid openings for today. Have a wonderful week.